Tiger Watch has been absolutely intense over the last 24 hours or so. Our PGA Tour panel this morning, DraftKings contributor Geoff, RotoWire senior golf writer Len Hochberg. Before we get to this week's tournament, Len, Geoff yesterday proclaiming that if Tiger Woods wins the Masters this year, I will get a tattoo of a tiger slapping a golden bear. Now, we've all seen the reports of Tiger working hard at Augusta. I mean, heck, his kid Charlie was there, got to miss school for that, to go hang out with Justin Thomas on the range. Our first chase or fade question for this segment is this, Len. Chase or fade that we see Tiger compete in just over a week?
Yeah, I don't even know where. There's a lot to unpack with what Geoff had to say there. I mean, I don't even know where. How much time do we have here? Is this even a golf question, or
was that just go ahead? You just
just a cry for help or something?
Yeah.
Is it weird that I'm thinking where would it go on Geoff's body?
That's very easy. No. It's lower back. That's exactly where he's putting it.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking it's too much for an ankle or something like that. Yeah. It must be sweet that Charlie got to miss school and go with Tiger. I mean, I hung out with my kid yesterday. We went to Home Depot. Not quite the same. But yeah, to get to your point, he obviously wants to play. It looks like he will be able to play. I mean, if chase or fade Tiger plays, I say Tiger plays. Whether he's worth paying $8,500 for, that's another question.
Okay. Geoff, anything new cooking between the ears after the news of the past 24 hours?
No, I just want to reiterate, I have great calves. That's like the number one body part that's in front right now. But I definitely think that you will see Tiger play. I mean, I don't think that he's going to be putting this much effort in and not crossing the finish line and getting to that starting line. So I think there's a very, very good chance we're going to see him play at the very least. Like Len said, using him as in a DFS option or a lineup or betting on him is a quite different story. But it really does look like he's going to tee it up, and I'd almost be shocked at this point if he doesn't.
All right, the poor Valero Texas Open, it's like, what about me? Because we do have a tournament this week for next week. We have Rory at the top of the salary board here, guys, at 11-2. But what about Hideki Matsuyama? Geoff, we know he's been sidelined with that back injury. He pulled out late after the first round teed off the Players. But he is 10-8 at this event, so chase or fade that you're willing to take a shot on him here.
I'm just going to fade it. We can make contrarian options, and Rory McIlroy is certainly going to push, most likely 30% owned in a lot of GPP contests this week on DraftKings. But, there's a $400 difference here we're talking about. Hideki is not cheap. You basically have to fade the supreme chalk with Rory McIlroy. And look, I think this course sets up well for Hideki if he was coming in with, like you mentioned, not a little bit of health issues, not the Masters next week, which he's certainly going to be focusing on. He's obviously got to host the dinner in less than a week at this point too. So there's just too many factors here for me to really like pivoting to Hideki Matsuyama. I think if you're going to pivot this week, you go down to Bryson DeChambeau at 10,200. I would rather take a shot with Bryson. He's got that supreme birdie rate, and we know he's at least back from injury. He's had that one start under his belt as well. So I'm going to fade Hideki here. I think the better pivot, if you're going off of Rory, is to go down to Bryson.
Yeah, Len, I mean, the question if he's going to be able to defend his master title, that appears to have been put to rest with his commitment to this week. But is he healthy enough for you to roster him at this price point?
No, I don't think so. I don't see a reason to. I mean, historically with this tournament, we just see a lot of long shots come in and play well and win this tournament. I think, this is such a crazy week. It's such a middle week after the match play, before the Masters. We don't know what these guys are thinking. Rory wasn't even there until he was at the Masters yesterday. I mean, I'm not sure about Hideki with his back. I think he just wants to get ready for next week. There's so many questions here. Definitely going to stay away from Hideki this week.
And then, Geoff, let's talk some Tony Finau here real quick. We got 3 minutes left in show. He's missed the cut in 3 of his last 4 events, but I think I saw you tweeting at Reed T. Fowler. You're actually back in Tony this week. Is that true?
I do like this setup for Tony Finau. He made 8 birdies last Friday in 16 holes against Xander Schauffele. he really hasn't been striking it that poorly. You look at his proximity stats, he's still up there. He's still hitting his long irons well. He gained over 6 strokes on approach at the Genesis. Tony's short game has just been, it's kind of been a hot mess, but that can flip really quickly. We saw him perform extremely well in that area towards the end of last year. He's just too good a player to keep underperforming. In a 9,100, I think he's just very, very kind of undervalued for this field. I think Finau does pop this week, and he's shown in the past too. He can put like 3 or 4 bad performances aside and just pop up at big events. And I think you're going to see him compete this week. I really do.
Yeah, Len, Geoff may be onto something here. He hasn't cracked the top 10 since he won the Northern Trust, but that short game and putting are the culprit. That's the reason.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see. Yeah, he could pop at any time. It'll be interesting next week for Finau because he's historically done very well at the Masters, dislocated ankle or not. But like you said, he has not had a top 10 other than the Hero World Challenge, which doesn't count.
Yep.
Did he make a deal with the devil to win the Northern Trust? He's just not playing very well. Yeah, he had a few good holes against Xander Schauffele. I'm not going to go anywhere near Tony Finau this week.
All right, guys, you both have about 20, 25 seconds here to answer this. Give us your favorite DFS play to chase at the Valero Texas Open. Go ahead, Len.
Yeah, I think this is wide open. I like it. $8,000. Patton Kizzire. A couple of years ago, he was close to 400 in the world. A good week this week gets him inside the top 100. He's doing it with strokes gained approach, more than usual putting, playing very well. Good play, only 8,000.
Yeah, he's made 7 of 8 cuts in 2022. Geoff, who's your pick this week, dude?
I mean, I like the Kizzire call. I'm going to go with the similar range player. I'm going to go with Doug Gim, a guy I mentioned yesterday. He's coming off the top 10 at the Players, very talented young player who's a really good amateur. He's got that strokes gain approach and that solid ball striking you need at TPC San Antonio. I think you're going to see a big week from Doug Gim, 7,600.